Right, it's time to move on to problem solving on page 233 right here. We're looking at number 9, and I've kind of drawn it over here. On number 9, it's just asking you, hey, what's the fraction length of the yarn that's green? Here's the entire string of yarn, and a portion of it has been dyed green. So I want you to figure out what is the length of this portion of the yarn in the fraction, okay? Pause it, and then come on back when you think you have the answer. Okay. Looking at our fraction strip, it's been cut up into, as you can see, the denominator is 6. So that is telling you that if you took this all the way to the end, there would be 6 equal size pieces. But the green portion of it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these pieces. So we have 4/6 is the length of the green portion. The remaining portion, though, over here, is our missing pieces. And since 4 of them have been taken up by the green, we know we have 2 more pieces here. So the orange section, or the section that's not green, is 2/6. If you add 4/6 and 2/6 together, you get 6/6, the entire length of it. 6 out of 6 pieces. Now let's look at number 10. Once again, we have our length of yarn, and we want to know what is the length in fractions. What's the fractional length of just the green portion? I will pause this video, and once you think you have it, you pause it, and then once you think you have it, unpause, and we'll look at it together. Okay. Well, here's our fraction strip below it, and it goes from here to here. And remember, here's our denominator, 4. That means that the entire length of yarn has been divided up into 4 equal sections. So if we continue this on, we'd have 4 equal sections. But the green portion takes up 1/4 and 1/4 of it, a total of 2 of those sections, which would be 2/4. Now, what do you think the length of the non-green part of the yarn is? Well, if you said 2/4, you are correct, because the missing pieces are right there. Another 1/4 and another 1/4. There you go. 2/4, 2/4. Hey, look at that. It's exactly half. So 2/4 plus 2/4, you're going to get 2 plus 2, 4 pieces. And the pieces, there's 4 pieces per whole. So you have a total of 4/4 or 1 whole. There you go. Let's take a look at number 11. We're going to take a break from fractions and jump into estimation, where we get our best guess. We don't have to get exact, which is kind of nice. So let's take a look at this. Nick, he wants to buy 2 items. He estimated, or best guess, that the total cost of the items is $100. Yeah, around about $100. One item cost exactly $58, he knows. What is one reasonable price for the other item? Doesn't have to be exact, but close. So you're going to take a look at this. Let's look at some information here. We know there's 2 items. We know the total cost is estimated. It's about $100. But we definitely know one of the items costs $58. So we want to come up with a good estimate of what the other one costs. Why don't you work with this for a little bit and then pause it, come on back when you think you have it, and we'll work it out together, see if you came up with the same thing that I did. All right, so let's see. Here's what we know. We know the whole thing costs $100. So the whole thing is $100. And we can divide that up into two items, two sections. And one item costs $58. And we want to know what the other one costs. Boom. Now, if we wanted to find the exact amount, we could say, okay, what 58 plus what equals 100? You could put 100 minus 58 equals what? But here's what estimation's all about. It's about making it simpler to work in your head. So we want to round 58 to the closest 10. So when you're counting by tens, you go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Easy numbers to work with. What's 58 closest to? I think of 58. I think, boy, it fits between 50 and 60. So which one is it closest to? Well, you have to subtract 8 to get to 58. But you only have to add 2 to get to 60. So it is closer to 60. So what if we change this in our heads to 60? We know the grand total is 100. I bet you it doesn't take too long to figure out that the missing amount would be $40. Because 60 plus 40 is 100. So a reasonable price for the other item would be $40. Let's continue our estimation extravaganza and move on to number 12. Here's what it says. It says, for her part in the school play, Carmen must memorize 10 lines. Now, each line has about 10 words. Oops, I forgot to capitalize. About how many words does Carmen need to memorize? All right, let's think about that. She's got to memorize 10 lines. Oops. And each line has about 10 words. So I want you to think about how you would go about doing this. Draw a picture, an array, groups. What would you do to figure this out? I'm going to have you pause this video. You work with it for a little bit. When you think you have it, or if you're just frustrated, come on back. All right. She's got to memorize 10 lines. So I like to draw pictures. So I think of lines, I think of rows. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 lines. Okay? Or we could say 10 rows, right? And each of those rows have 10 words in them. So each one has 10. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and 10. Holy mackerel. This is making me think of arrays. This is making me think of multiplication, kids. If you got 10 rows, and each of those rows have 10 lines, how many total words does she need to memorize? 10 times 10, guys. And if you're not sure what 10 times 10 is, you can certainly count by tens 10 times, right? Hopefully, you get 100 words. Well, we are now on number 13 in our problem solving right here. And it says that Nia painted 6/8 of a fence rail. The rest of the fence rail was painted by her brother. The question is, what fraction of the rail was painted by Nia's brother? It says Nia painted 6/8 of a fence rail. If that's the case, what was painted by Nia's brother? I want you to take a look at what we have here and see if you can figure out the fraction that Nia's brother painted. Pause the video, come on back when you think you have it. Okay. It says Nia painted 6/8. Well, let's take a look here. We have our whole fence. This is our entire fence. Fence rail. And Nia painted 6/8 of it. And I'm seeing the eights here. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, so Nia painted this. She painted 6/8. So what we're looking for is, what did she not paint? Right here, this section. Well, it says these are marked off in eighths. That means we have to go from here all the way to here, and there will be 8 equal parts. If Nia did 6 of those parts, what's left over for her brother? So the missing pieces are right here. And if there's 6, we know that the entire fence has 8 pieces in it. So the missing pieces are, there's 2 missing pieces. 1/8 and 1/8. So Nia's brother painted 2/8 of the fence. All right, we're going on to number 14. We're almost at the end here. It says here that Rashad, he colored 3/6 of a flag red. I have purple, but pretend those are red. And 1/6 of the same flag green. Okay, 3/6 red, 1/6 green. The question is, what fraction of the flag was not colored? So that's that blank white stuff right here. Okay, so I want you to try to figure that out. Pause it, and when you think you have it, come on back. All right, guys. Hey, if 3/6 is red and 1/6 is green, what do we have so far? We know the denominator says it's 6, that there's 6 equal size pieces here. So if we add the red and green together, 3 plus 1 is 4. So far we have 4/6 colored. What's left over is this piece and this piece. Looks like there's 2 of them. So the 2 there, this would be 1/6, right? And this would be 1/6. So you add those 2 together and you get 2/6 are not colored. All right, you made it to the last one. Number 15 in problem solving. Let's do this. You're being asked, which group shows fewer than 2/4 of the shapes shaded? Fewer than 2/4. All right, take a look at A, B, C, and D, and you figure out which group shows fewer than 2/4 of the shapes shaded. Pause the video, come on back when you think you're ready. All right, let's take a look. All right, A, let's take a look at that one. How many are shaded? We've got 1, 2 out of the 4 are shaded. A is 2/4. Is that fewer than 2/4? Nope, that's equal to 2/4. So that's not gonna work. This one has 1, 2, 3 out of the 4. 3/4 are shaded. Is that fewer? Nope, that's greater than 2/4. Bam. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/4. Wow, though, everything. All the shapes are shaded. That is definitely not less or fewer than 2/4. Bam. Let's hope D is correct. I have 1. 1's been shaded. 1/4. I believe that is fewer than 2/4. 2 out of the 4, 1 out of the 4. I think we have a winner, chicken dinner. Here we go. Boom. D. And you are done with today's lesson. Thanks.